welcome in. It's from the Bleachers. Caden Formaster and Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know.
Broadcasting live here on the Fan Sports Network from the Findlay Hyundai studio, 99.5 or 95.3 in St. George, 93.1 in Cedar. Download the Fan Sports Network app, listen to us over there, or watch us on YouTube. Lots of ways to catch the show today.
YouTube's the best, I think.
I think so, too, because if you are watching on YouTube, you'll notice something about Mark and I.
Well, it's a special day today. It should be really should be a national holiday. I don't know why it's not.
It kind of feels like
there needs to be two more national holidays added to the mix. We've talked about Super Bowl Monday. The Monday after the Super Bowl Sunday, you kind of got that Super Bowl hangover, whether it's because of too many nachos or adult beverages, whatever is your liking. But there also needs to be a national holiday for opening day of baseball. It's our national pastime. Yeah. How is it not a national holiday?
Right up there with whatever we do to celebrate apple pie.
Yes.
Right? Which Pie Day is the thing.
Yes, it is, but it's not a national holiday.
March 14th. So we start with pie, and then we go to baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be a national holiday. It's our national pastime.
Yep. So you're wearing your Dodgers jersey.
Yep.
I'm wearing an Angels jersey.
Yeah.
We decided, you know what? For opening day, let's break out the jerseys.
Yeah, I'm digging it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I even got the hat to match. Well, kind of. Same team, different hat.
It's okay. Nobody will call you on it.
You don't think so?
Nah.
All right. Well, hopefully not.
Mine's Mookie Betts, by the way.
Yeah, Mookie Betts. Very nice. Uh-huh. I've got my Mike Trout on. Mike Trout Angels jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, not too bad. Good way to start the day, though. Good way to start the show because there's been some good baseball already today.
Yeah, there really has been. I was actually just watching a little bit of a game a tiny bit early, and I'll tell you what, the score has changed a lot since I was just at my house about 45 minutes ago. When I was watching the Phillies and Rangers, it was 4-0 Phillies, and they had knocked DeGrom out of the game. Well, it's 9-6 Rangers right now.
Yeah, the Rangers just decided to come back. It's the middle of the fifth inning right now.
They put 9 in the bottom of the fourth inning. That was the inning that I left. I actually, Corey Seager let off that inning with a single, and he was moved to third on another single. Can't remember exactly who it was. And then I decided to come back to work. And then I get here, and they scored 9 that inning. Holy smokes.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, 9-6 right now. Rangers up on the Phillies. Pirates and Reds are tied 4-4. They're in the bottom of the fifth. Blue Jays, Cardinals, 5-5. They're in the top of the fifth. Twins and Royals, 2-0, top of 7. Mets and Marlins, they're 3-3, top of 7. Good games going on right now, man.
Yeah.
Other than that, well, even that Rangers-Phillies game, that's only a 3-point difference, but all the rest of them are tied.
Wait. A 3 what?
A 3-run difference.
You said point.
I did. You caught me.
For the guy who really hates it when people say points in baseball.
Thank you for calling me on it because, I did. That's only a 3-run difference.
Wow.
All the rest of the games are all tied up, 4-4, 5-5. The Twins Royals 2-0. Mets and Marlins, was that just tied? Now it's 5-3. I could have swore it was tied.
Maybe
it was. They just put a 2 spot up. Yep.
Huh.
Anyway, good games going on right now.
Yeah, and we had some good games earlier today. That Baltimore-Boston game was a good high-scoring game. 10-9, Baltimore out to an early lead, and then towards the end of the game, Boston trying to make a little bit of a comeback, rallying back, but just not quite enough there to finish it off. So, again, that one was 10-9. Chicago with the shutout, 4-0 over the Brewers.
That's got to make you feel kind of good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's great.
Now, what's really your team? Is it the Angels or is it the Cubs? Who
Here's
is your team?
I would say it's the Cubs. They're just not that accessible for me, is the problem.
Okay.
I can go to Angels games very easily, right? And
Do
I
you
like
have
the
any?
Angels.
Do you have any Cubs garb that you could have wore
Oh
today?
yeah. I don't have any Cubs jerseys.
Okay.
I have a Cubs hat. I got a Cubs T-shirt. I don't have a Cubs jersey, so I need to get one.
Okay.
It's on my list. So
all right, fair enough.
Yeah, we used to have a Cubs jersey that it's technically one of my older brothers, and then as kids we would kind of just like pass it around. You know?
Who was it?
Sammy Sosa.
Oh, Sosa.
Yeah, Sammy Sosa.
Steroid alert! Steroid alert!
And
Steroid
now
alert!
it's sitting in my brother's closet somewhere. You know, it's a youth large, so
Yeah.
there's no way that's fitting anybody anymore. But yeah, it's a good time. Tampa Bay won 4-0 over Detroit as well. So those were a couple of shutouts. Throw New York in as well as shutting out the Giants 5-0. By the way, Aaron Judge, I had that game on in here. Aaron Judge, his first at bat, home run.
Yeah, dinger.
Yeah. Yep, good way to start the season. Same thing with Adley Rutschman with the Orioles.
Mhm.
His first swing of the bat, home run.
You know, interesting little fun fact on that game. The Yankees haven't had an opening day shutout since 1988.
Yeah, so it's been a hot second.
It really has. And the Giants have not opened up in New York, I believe it was since 1957 or 58 when they were actually the New York Giants.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a long time. I mean, granted, it would only be the Mets that it would be able to open up with, you know, for many, 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 many years.
Right.
But yeah, so a couple little fun facts right there. I was a little shocked by that first shutout since 1988, though, for the Yankees in opening day.
Yeah, you'd think. I mean,
they've had some really great pitchers.
With the Derek Jeter years, you'd think that.
And they had some great pitchers.
You'd think there's some of those years that they could have. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of shutouts, but not just on opening day.
Not on opening day.
Yeah, that's interesting. How do you feel about them doing opening day as one full day of opening day? All teams are playing today as opposed to an opening day, like 3-day event.
Oh, I like it with them all playing.
I think it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Because that means we got baseball from early, 11 o'clock till about midnight tonight.
Yeah.
We'll have some games, if not later.
Yeah, when the Dodgers, Diamondbacks, and some of those West Coast games get over, it will be close to, well, with the speed of the game, they're saying that the speed of the game has definitely gone down to like 2.5. I don't know the exact number, but 2.5
it's changed
hours. So, probably by 11 tonight.
Yeah, very well could. I mean, the games will start at 9. So,
they start at 9? They're not at 8:10?
Oh, sorry, they are at 8. Sorry.
Yeah.
8. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong time.
I was going to say, usually at 8:10 or something is when those West Coast
so
games start.
You have Diamondbacks, Dodgers, Cleveland is at Seattle, and Angels at Oakland.
Yeah.
So those 3 games are all the 8 o'clock games. Then you have a 7 Eastern, so 5 o'clock game, I guess. That's kind of your main opening day game on ESPN. It's the White Sox and the Astros in Houston. But I don't know. Here's the thing with everybody playing all in one day is by the time you get to that nightcap game, there's already been so much baseball. It's like, it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean.
But not if it's your team.
And it's 2 huge markets, Chicago and Houston, 2 of the biggest cities in the country.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a very highly viewed game for sure. So, it'd be better maybe if it was more of a rival.
Mm-hmm.
2 teams that aren't even in the same division.
Yeah.
I wish they would have at least had that be a divisional game. But sadly, no, not the case. I understand having Houston in it because, they're the champs from last year.
Right.
So having them in it, of course they're going to have them in it. That's how everybody does it, right? It's always who won it last year, where they're going to be the ones that are going to kick off the season this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wish I would have found him a little bit better opponent.
Yeah, the White Sox, that's a strange, there's just no magic to it.
Yeah.
There's
Seattle would have been great.
Seattle would have been good. Even, in-state rival Texas, the Rangers would have been good. I know that would be all Texas, and maybe that's not what they wanted to do, but at least it would have had a little bit more flair than the White Sox.
Well, I think from the playoffs last year, with Seattle making their way into the playoffs through the first round and everyone being like, wow, and then Houston goes and destroys them, right?
Yeah.
But at least for the beginning series, you know what? They're division rivals, and Seattle actually had a good season last year. That would have been a really fun one to do. For personally, I think that one would have been a good
It'll
one.
be interesting to watch Julio Rodriguez this year. Does he have a sophomore slump, or does he build on his Rookie of the Year last year for the Mariners? So, keep an eye on that. That sophomore slump, it's a real thing.
Yeah, it really is.
I hope it doesn't happen to him, because I really enjoyed watching him play last year. Not just on TV, but we actually went to a game last year as well.
That's right.
We were up there. But he's a great baseball player. I really hope the sophomore slump doesn't get him.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch.
I agree with you. There's a few of those sophomores from last season that are really exciting to watch. So some of the young guys coming in are really fun. Lots of rookies that have some hype this year. One of them, I watched a bit of the game today. Gunnar Henderson from with Baltimore is one of those. Baltimore's just got such a young team. I think they're going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Right.
The Orioles could be really fun. And, of course, getting a win over Boston is a great way to start the season. So
yeah, it is.
That's
for sure.
And it was at Fenway.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, great way to start the season there. Not a great way to start the season. Justin Verlander with his new team placed on the IL.
Mm-hmm.
That's not wonderful.
Right.
So barely getting ready to start the season. And,
yeah. And they said it was one of the mild strains of it. So I don't think it's going to be a too serious of an issue. But yeah, you want him out there for sure. And, with a guy of his age, you don't want something lingering all season. That's always something to kind of think about as well. Once you get on the other side of 35 and you're still playing professional sports. So something to keep an eye on as well. Hey, we're gonna be talking a lot of baseball, no question about it. Just want to do an update of last night's makeup game from the week prior weather fiasco last week. Snow Canyon, they beat the Tigers 11-3. Now, again, sounds like a blowout, which the final score kind of is. But I will tell you, the Tigers were up 3-2 going into the fifth, and the Warriors put a 9 spot on the board in the top of the fifth. So they really came to life. Looking through here, I will tell you, just going to kind of look at some stats here. Harrison, he was 3 for 4. Sam Lindsay keeps getting it done. He was 2 for 2. No home runs, so that's actually kind of a containment on the Tigers'
in
part.
some way, right?
But 2 for 2 for Lindsay, 1 for 2 for Talon Kelly. Goats was 1 for 2. And Swenson, 2 for 4 for the Warriors. The Tigers, Schultzen with a really good game, 3 for 3. He was lighting the old scoreboard up. Robinson 1 for 2, and Hershey also 1 for 2 for the Tigers. But tell you what, that was a good game. Through 4 innings. Going into the 5th inning, the Tigers had a 3-2 win, and then they give up a 9 spot.
Yeah, that's tough.
Dang,
that's tough. And they only played through 5 innings. Did it get rained out towards the end of the game?
10 runs after 5.
But they didn't 10 run it. It's 11-3.
That's true. Math is hard. Math really is hard. Oh, I'm trying to think of the weather last night.
It was rainy last night. It was very rainy last night. So I don't know what it was like in Hurricane. I know what it was like for me. I drove home all the way in rain the whole night. I mean, that was me. It was raining all night on me up there, but I don't know if it rained out in Hurricane or what.
It probably was.
It must have gotten a little too wet out there.
Yeah, must have been. So there you go. There's a reason. Now we have a makeup game tonight.
Yep.
Crimson Cliffs at Desert Hills. And don't let the weather scare you off. It's supposed to be, the storm is kind of supposed to be moving through by like 5 o'clock. It should be gone. So we should definitely get some baseball up at Thunder Field tonight. And big matchup. The Mustangs and the Thunder. Mustangs beat them the first go around last week, 6-3 at Crimson Cliffs. So Thunder looking to, get a little revenge game there. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up the weather right now just out of curiosity. And, of course, it's not loading.
What? Mother Nature, man, she's playing games with everybody right now.
Yeah, the weather app is like, nah, we don't want to do it. Yeah, so it looks like it says that it's going to be done by about 5. It's supposed to stay cloudy, though, through the evening, which I can deal with clouds, but just as long as it's not raining.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yep.
So, rain and baseball,
don't go
not
together.
my favorite mixture.
They don't go together. That's why we don't play in it.
Yeah, it's not a good time. Not a good time. Indeed.
Tears up the field. It's a safety. It's a hazard, trying to play it in the rain. Bases get slippery.
It's harder.
All kinds of
it's
stuff.
harder to just even throw the ball.
Yep.
Throwing the ball over to first. Not fun, especially when it's run through a puddle of mud.
Yeah.
Not great.
So Mother Nature needs to start cooperating, but it looks like most of the MLB games are getting in this today. I haven't seen really any weather delays or canceled, postponed. Looks like they're getting all the MLB games in today.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how those West Coast games do, just because that's obviously a little closer to our neck of the woods, but I don't know if they've already had storms pass over them and now we're getting them, or if they're all coming in later. I don't know. So,
man, Rangers up 11-6 right now.
Yeah, they're just putting it on right now, aren't they?
I'll tell you what, I was a little worried about them when I was watching them earlier, but man, they're up 11-6.
Man,
end of the 5th, they're going to the 6th inning.
Man, that's a good inning for them.
Pirates and Reds are still tied up 4-4. Blue Jays, Cards still tied up 5-5. Twins are up on the Royals 2-0. Mets are up on the Marlins 5-3. Good games going on right now.
Good games for sure. Well, we're going to keep our eye on those, and then of course we're going to be talking local sports. We got to talk a little bit of NFL today and more. I mean, and we're really looking forward. Today is a lot of looking forward to this MLB season as it's all starting today. And I want to, when we come back, let's continue to talk some baseball. We're going to go over kind of some projections of where teams may finish this year. So all of that coming up. So stick around with us right here on From the Bleachers.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine, not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Corns for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show, From the Bleachers, live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports. Welcome back in, everybody. It's from the Bleachers. Caden Formaster here and Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know.
All right, Mark, it's opening day. Your favorite day of the year?
It's
Or
one
up
of them.
there?
It's up there.
Up there?
Yeah, it just kicks off, baseball season. And that's, as you know, and a lot of our listeners know, that's my favorite sport.
Yes, it is.
So it's a big deal.
Yeah. Now, you've been getting your fair share of baseball anyways, because
Yes.
obviously high school level is been well underway for a while now.
Yeah.
Same with college. I know that Utah Tech has been playing a lot. They have games Friday. They'll have some games. So we'll talk more about that tomorrow and give you kind of their schedule for the weekend. But
Yeah. I've been to a couple of those already as well. So
yeah.
they're fun. They're a fun team to watch too.
Yeah, they're playing all right. They're playing all right. So softball's doing well as well. So they they're always fun to watch. So we'll give you more updates on that as more updates come in. That's the other thing too with the college baseball and softball scene is it's very much just kind of like a weekend series.
Yeah.
And then they're off the whole week. So we don't get as much as maybe our Tuesdays, Fridays,
Right.
back to backs, back and forth, I should say. It's all kind of like when Friday hits, there's a lot to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but it's good. Hey, so let's get into this. Let's talk about some of the projections for this season for the MLB. I know that you had a list there. So let's see what we can find.
Yeah, and you can find this story on CBSSports.com. It is the predictions from our CBS Sports MLB staff. So they have 6 experts that have picked where each team is going to finish in each division. Let's start with the American League East. I'll tell you what, all six experts are split. You got 3 of them. You got R.J. Anderson, Mike Axisa, Kate Feldman, Dane Perry, Steven Pianovich, and Matt Snyder. Those are the 6 experts on this panel. 3 of them have the Yankees winning the division, and 3 of them have the Blue Jays. And obviously, second in the division, same teams, 3 for the Blue Jays, 3 for the Yankees.
Yeah.
You have any thoughts on that?
I lean Yankees.
I do
just
too.
Personally, I do. I would lean towards the Yankees on this one. Because they're obviously split between 1 and 2. You can see the line where it's Yankees 1, Blue Jays 2, or Blue Jays 1 and Yankees 2. I would go Yankees, Blue Jays. That's my 1-2.
I would too. I'm agreeing with you.
For my 3, here's where everybody all of a sudden gets split. It's kind of interesting. You look at it here, and everyone just all of a sudden splits.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag for third.
And it's like, so Tampa Bay Rays, Baltimore Orioles, Boston Red Sox. I'm a little higher on the Orioles than a lot of people probably are. I'd actually say Boston's probably last, and then it's kind of a toss-up for me between Tampa Bay and Baltimore.
And I'm leaning Rays on this as well. I'm going with the majority and going Tampa Bay.
My line would match up perfect with, who is that? That's Kate.
Oh,
right?
With Kate?
Yeah, between Kate or RJ, they have the same one. That's probably the path I would take. Is New York, Toronto, Tampa Bay, Baltimore, Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you probably agree with that as well.
Yeah,
right?
that one. That is the one. That is the line that I would go with. I would actually go with R.J. Anderson as well. That's the line that I would go with.
Yeah.
And I hate putting Boston on the bottom. I like the Red Sox.
I like
Always
the Red
have.
Sox too, but the problem is I feel like they're just a farm system
I know.
for better teams.
Yeah,
lately
for sure.
Lately they've been a Dodger farm system, it seems like, right? But
We'll
again,
give them our old players though, like Justin Turner. Although I hope Justin Turner has a great season.
Yeah,
he was
I
a
hope so,
great
too.
Dodger. He was a great Dodger.
Yeah, I hope so too. All right, let's go to the next one, American League Central. So this one is also split between the top two, between Twins or the Guardians. Which one are you going to take there? I'd lean Guardians. What about you?
I'd lean Twins because I don't see the Indians on this.
Of course.
So I'm going Twins, then Cleveland, White Sox.
Uh-huh.
Well, again, I think I'm going with R.J. Anderson again.
Yeah.
He seems to have those picks that I would definitely, that's how I would line it up.
See, and I would go with either of the, let's see, who is that? That's Dane and Steven on this list. They have it
Pianovich.
Cleveland. So it goes Guardians, Twins, White Sox, Royals, Tigers. That's the way I'd do it.
All right.
So
fair enough.
Yep. I will be honest though, that is one of the divisions. I really don't follow any of the teams.
You know, I really don't either. It's kind of I like my favorite team in that division is the White Sox. I've always liked the Chicago White Sox for whatever reason. Maybe it's the black in their.
I like the color scheme.
Yeah, their color scheme is good. I like their logo. There's been some players that have gone through there that I really do like as well. In that division, that's my favorite team.
See, and what's funny is for me, it would be the Tigers in that division.
Really?
For a team that's not doing well. And it's just because I have family that live in Detroit.
Oh, gotcha.
That's all. I have some cousins that live in Detroit.
I don't like that font that they use the D with.
Why? Because it doesn't look like a D.
What is it like? Is that like Gothic or something? What is that called?
Gothic script. What's that? Or an Old English?
The Old English.
Something. I don't know.
I just don't like it. No, it has nothing to do with.
I feel like it's classic baseball look, though.
It kind of is. I just don't like it. I never have.
All right. Yeah, I feel like it's such a classic baseball thing to do is to use that script.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with it. All right, let's go to the AL West. One of the divisions I like to follow, of course. I am not surprised Houston sweeps the top spot.
Oh, that's a pretty easy choice.
Yeah.
I agree.
Now, here's the thing. You know I'm an Angels fan.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting is they've split here.
Yeah.
On these CBS Sports writers between the Angels and the Mariners. I have a hard time taking the Angels ahead of the Mariners.
Oh, me too.
And that's just because me as a fan, I like to be the least optimistic person I can. So then hopefully they can exceed my expectations. I just don't. If the Angels are second in that division, I will be ecstatic. I just don't see it happening. The Mariners have already proven themselves last year of being a decent team to do it. I don't see them being second at all. As a matter of fact, they might have a tough time getting into third.
Well, I will tell you, I've looked at all of these experts' choices, and I'm lining myself up with not R.J. Anderson this time. I'm lining myself up with Dane Perry.
Interesting. See, and I am going to go with RJ. I like RJ's line there. And
again, I hope the Angels can get to third.
I think they can.
I don't see him getting to second. I don't see him getting to second either, unless Seattle has a drop off, unless Julio Rodriguez has a big sophomore slump, and things just don't go. You know, with Seattle last year, things fell in place, and you know, the rookie stepped up and played big, rookie of the year. If he does have a sophomore slump, and they, you know, I could see the Mariners dropping, but that's a big ask because Julio was insane last year. It'll be interesting to watch. I don't see. I've watched the Angels enough throughout my life that I know what to expect from the Angels. And
a 2002 World Series is what you can expect.
A 2002 World Series, yes. But it's just right now they've got. Here's the thing: they got the 2 greatest players in the world.
Yeah.
But they just don't have anything else. Pitching has always been an issue. They just don't spend that extra money and go out and get what they need to advance, go all season long and then get into the playoffs and then make noise in the playoffs. Hey, I would be stoked if they can even just get to the playoffs or even contend for the playoffs. But man, the Angels they do this every year. There's always all this excitement around Shohei and Mike Trout. They start off strong and then they just dive down.
Yeah. I think that they can secure a 3rd spot. That's not going to put them in the playoffs by any means, but I think they can get to that 3rd spot. The only way they wouldn't is if DeGrom just makes that much noise in Texas.
And he got pounded today.
He
got knocked out. So, but Texas does have a very good lineup. And if that lineup starts to hit like they're being paid to, then they could be scary.
Now, here's the thing about the Angels is they have 2 of the best hitters in the league in Mike Trout and Ohtani. But then you throw in some really good role players, too, in that lineup with Hunter Renfroe, who came over from the Red Sox. You have Rengifo still. There's still some really great hitters in that lineup. So I feel like they have a chance to be better in the batter's box than they were last year. I feel like the pitching wasn't always their Achilles heel last season. Sometimes they just could not get the ball into play. It was rough to watch, but the times that they did win, though, really it was when Ohtani was pitching. Anytime Ohtani was on the mound, they won the game.
Yeah.
There was a stretch where it was Ohtani pitches, they win. Lose, lose, lose. Ohtani on the mound, win. Lose, 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 lose. Ohtani on the mound, win. Lose, lose. It was crazy, but it was just like a guaranteed win if Shohei's pitching.
While we're on the subject of Shohei, now he's coming up. He's going to be a free agent after this year.
Yeah.
He's going to be the highest paid player ever. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you, as a team, say you're the general manager of let's make this fun, of the Kansas City Royals.
Okay.
That's
kind of random, but
it
let's
really
go
is.
for
It really is. And the ownership says, hey, they are all in on the Shohei sweepstakes. Okay. Now, what are sluggers going for? Aaron Judge's contract is $300 million. North of
how many years was it?
I think like 8 or so.
I can't remember. I'm gonna look it up while you're
look it up.
Yeah.
So look up a power hitter. All right. And let's go off of Aaron Judge. I mean, Shohei Ohtani is everything that an Aaron Judge is.
$360 million, 9 years.
Okay, 360, 9 years. Now, let's look up one of the top aces of MLB. Let's look up DeGrom. Look up DeGrom.
Okay.
What did he get?
DeGrom's contract is $185 million for 5 years.
For 5 years. Okay, let's go. What other aces kind of switched teams?
Verlander.
Let's check out Verlander. Again, his won't be long because he's an older dude.
It's a 2-year, $86 million, but you average it out. Okay, so $42 million a year. There's a little more, but
so do you
43.
So do you go? So what's 4 times? Let's just do 400 million. 4 times 10, right?
Yeah.
So 40 million. Do you take your power hitting money and an ace money? Is he going to get 700, 800 million? Because he is 2 players. He is an ace, and he's also one of the best power hitters in the league. And can you justify it? Can you justify that and say, hey, we could go out and get an ace, and we're going to pay him, $350 million. We're going to go get a big power hitter like an Aaron Judge or somebody, and we're going to pay him $350 million, okay, for $700 million.
Yeah.
Can't you justify that and just go get one guy and pay him that?
I'm going to say no.
Why?
Because if Shohei happens to get injured, now it's as if two players got injured.
I think it's...
And I don't know
that's a risk I'm willing to take as a GM.
That's the other thing. Our GM's going to be willing to take that risk. If he does get injured...
Because he's something that we have never seen in Major League Baseball.
Not at all.
I mean, it just hasn't been done.
Yeah, I agree.
And here's a question for you. Another little fun fact from that Yankees-Giants game I was watching. Who is the last non-Shohei pitcher to hit a home run? So the last pitcher to hit a home run that wasn't Shohei Ohtani.
I know someone did it last year.
You have a guess? And it's okay if you don't, because there's hundreds of pitchers. I do.
I know there was a kid from the Padres that did it last year.
Well, it was actually, since I was watching the Giants.
I don't know who. Yeah.
Since I was watching the Giants-Yankees game, it was a Giant. It was Logan Webb.
Okay.
And that could be a trivia question, for many, many years, because now with both leagues having the DH,
yeah, they don't have to.
He could be the last pitcher to hit a home run in MLB other than Shohei Ohtani.
Unless you get into one of those game situations where they bring in...
Their bench is emptied out.
They've gone through the bullpen.
Yeah.
They have to save some guys for the next game. And they're like, let's bring in the right fielder, whoever it is. Aaron Judge is going to come to the mound for why not? Just
but that's not the same.
It's very rare, but they're not a pitcher.
They're not a pitcher.
They're not a pitcher. So I wouldn't count that if that.
But that could be one of your useful trivia questions, that useful knowledge, that non-useful knowledge that you have in your head. Logan Webb, San Francisco Giants, last pitcher to hit a home run.
That's impressive.
So
interesting.
Log that away.
All right. It's logged. It's logged away.
I thought that was a pretty good little fun fact.
Yeah, that is a fun fact. I like that one. Excuse me. All right, so
National League.
We're through the American League. Let's look at the National League then, shall we? National League East.
Yeah.
How do we feel about this lineup here? We have the
three really
Mets for the most part.
Three really good teams in this division. I like the Mets, Braves, and Phillies, and so do these experts. I mean, they're kind of a mixed bag with these three teams as well.
I have thoughts. My thoughts are the Mets are going to be a little too injured to take the first place spot. I think the Braves take the first place spot. I think that the Phillies take the second place spot. And then I think the Mets take the third. And then from there, Marlins, Nationals.
Sorry, just had somebody, doing
Poke their head through the window.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened.
I'm going out. Man, the Braves are proven. That's the thing about the Braves. I love the Phillies lineup, though.
The Phillies have a good lineup. That's why I put them at 2.
Yeah.
And now with Trey Turner, it might even be Phillies 1. It really could be.
I know.
The pitching needs to be there. That's the biggest thing with the Phillies is you have to make sure the pitching is there. I still lean Braves, Phillies, Mets, Marlins.
So
Nats.
you're lining yourself up with Matt Snyder there on the far right.
Matt Snyder on the far right. Yeah.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that's hard for me to argue with as well.
And that's not common.
No.
With the list we have here, there's 6 riders and only one has that. 4 out of the 6 have the Mets at number 1. I just think they're too injured. They're a little too beat up this year.
I just don't trust the Mets yet. They have to.
They were great last year, but
I know
they're a little too beat up this year.
This is a good division.
It's a great division. Yeah. I love that division.
I do too.
Now, the Nats are definitely a huge weak link.
Yeah, all of them have them.
Yeah,
in the cellar. So.
And then Marlins second to last, and that's just because they're just a little bit better.
But those are and the problem is with those two teams, they're in a division with 3 really good teams, and so that doesn't bode well for the Marlins and the Nationals either.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's look at the NL Central. I go from agreeing with Matt to disagreeing with him completely.
Yeah.
I don't see the Brewers being number one. Everyone
I
else
don't
has
either.
the Cardinals. I agree with that 100%. Cardinals will be the first in the Central Division. Brewers will be number 2. In my opinion. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I'm going to align myself with R.J. Anderson and Mike Axisa.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
That's kind of who I'm lining. So
I'm
that
a little-
goes Cardinals first, Brewers second, Cubs third, and then Pirates, and then the Reds.
I would be perfectly okay switching around Pirates and Reds just because I feel like that battle for last place is going to come into play at some point. Cubs finish in middle. Here's the thing. I think the Cubs and up, Cubs, Brewers, Cardinals, there's going to be a distinct separation. I think Cardinals walk away with it. Kind of like they did last year.
Yeah.
I think they still kind of walk away with it. Brewers and Cubs are going to fight for that second spot in the division. This might be one of those divisions where, I'm just going to make the claim now. I'm not even going to say might. This is the division where whoever takes second is still not getting in the playoffs.
Right.
I think that the wild card spots are probably going to go out west.
To the east and the west.
Out east.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
So you're going to have a tough time trying to find one of those second place teams from this division making it through.
Now, the West has 2 really good teams.
Yeah, let's look at the West.
Where the East has 3, the West does have 2 really good teams. None of them having the Dodgers in first place. They are going Padres across the board.
Hold up, let's see. Let's scroll.
No, I've already looked.
Okay,
I've already looked.
For some reason,
I know
this
this
is
one's
kind of
weird. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. Here's the thing: the Dodgers did lose Trey Turner. That's going to be a big hit to them.
They replaced him with Miguel Rojas, who's
exactly. You're right about
he's no
that.
Trey Turner,
No,
but he's good.
San Diego now gets to start a full season with Juan Soto, Manny Machado.
Now Fernando Tatis is still
Fernando
out.
Tatis is out for only 20 games.
20 games.
That's
Okay.
still a lot of games he can come back and play.
It's a lot of games that he can come back and get injured
or start juicing.
or start juicing.
And I'm not talking about apples and carrots and kale. I'm talking, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I think Padres do have a really good chance at winning the division this year. They really do. I know you don't like to hear it. You're wearing the Dodgers jersey for a reason.
no,
but they have a good shot.
well, yes, I'm wearing a Dodger jersey, but I'm also not stupid. I mean, the Padres have a great lineup. They've got some good pitching as well. I think it's a dogfight between those two, and because I'm wearing a Dodgers jersey, I will put them 1. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if the Padres take first because this is going to be a dogfight all year long between these two teams.
100%. 100%. I kind of align myself here, well, with the majority. All of these that have Padres, Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Giants, Rockies. I think Rockies are in the cellar. And then
they're
bring in everybody else.
Yeah, they're liking the D-backs a little bit better than the Giants. Most of them have the Giants in 5th, and then all of them have the Rockies in the cellar. So, again, a fun division to watch, and even when the Giants aren't that good, that Giants-Dodgers rivalry is top shelf. I mean, that's up there with the Red Sox and Yankees. So, even when the Giants aren't that good, it just makes this division that much more interesting. And the Padres, they're trying to get out from the shadow of Big Brother, the Dodgers. Can little brother kind of finally take Big Brother down?
Maybe. Maybe.
I know Pedro from Juan, he thinks so.
Yeah. I mean, I am leaning that way. I'm leaning that way.
Are you leaning Padres?
That Padres would be 1.
I can't tell you that you're ridiculously stupid like I would like to.
I know.
I would
you
really like to say that, but I really can't because they are a very good team. They had a really good offseason, and late last year when they picked up Soto as well, I thought was a great pickup at the trade deadline. So we'll see what happens. And like I said, it's hard to replace Trey Turner in the lineup. He is just a phenomenal, exciting player. Hated to see him go, but there's going to be some players that need to step up for the Dodgers. Will Smith, the catcher, he's been hitting, really good for the last couple of years, so he'll be a person to be watching in that lineup. There's some other guys that just have to step up.
Yeah, you're right.
You're
right. And we'll see. I think, they still have a good dugout, though. They still have a good pitching rotation. So they'll be
Freddie Freeman,
they'll be
Mookie
fine.
Betts. I mean, those are, players that you can't ignore for sure.
Now, Freeman's still out, though, for a little bit, right?
No, he's been playing.
Is he back?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's good to know. All right. Well, let's take a break. We have more to talk about. We didn't get to our playoff predictions. Who's going to be the wild cards? Who's going to be the champions? We can look at that because that is also available here. So let's get to that next, shall we? How's that sound? All right. More coming up next here on From the Bleachers.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine, not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Coins for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show, From the Bleachers, live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports. Welcome back in, everybody. It's From the Bleachers, Caden Formaster and Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know.
As we broadcast live from the Findlay Hyundai studio, and it's, of course, opening day for MLB. So we're rocking the MLB jerseys today.
Amen.
As we should.
Play ball.
Play ball. Well, let's get into, we've talked about, where we think everyone's going to finish as far as the rest of the divisional lineups go. So with that said, now who's going to be the ones making the playoffs? Our wild card teams. Now, you and I differ a little bit here. Let's start with the American League first. Now, I have said Yankees, Guardians, and Astros. You go Yankees, Twins, Astros as far as divisional winners.
Right.
So let's look at the wild cards. Now, our CBS Sports writers, they have given us their opinions on this as well. Let me pull that up on our screen for our YouTube audience, and we can kind of take a look at who they have for the wild card. So, obviously, some of them a little different than others, but we have in the American League, one of them says Blue Jays, Mariners, Angels. I'm seeing Yankees, the Rays, Twins. Those are basically the teams that are making it, in their opinion, from the American League.
I hope it's the Blue Jays, Mariners, and Angels.
Take the West and then the best
for the
from
wild
the East.
cards.
Now that basically means the Twins would be out, or if you chose the Twins, then the Guardians are out. They're basically saying that the Central Division is just lesser than that.
Which
it's just the divisional winner will make it in. And that's it.
We both agree,
and we both agree that is a weaker division. I would love to see the Angels in there. I would love to see the Mariners in there. I'd love to see the Blue Jays in there. I'm fine with that. Sneaky team. Here's my 2 cents here. A sneaky team could be the Orioles. You're
high on them, I will say.
You could see a couple of teams from the East and the Blue Jays and the Orioles, and maybe only one team from the West in Mariners or the Angels.
You're high on the Orioles.
I think they were so close last year, and they started out the season so bad, and then the second half of the season they just started playing so well, and they've made some good changes.
Okay.
I think that this might be the year they finally sniff the playoffs again. It's been too long. I want them there. But I'd rather have the Angels there than the Orioles.
Yes, I would hope so.
So if it comes down to it, I would hope it's the Angels. I'd root for the Angels. But I wouldn't be surprised to see the Orioles finally make a playoffs.
I really would love to see this, the Blue Jays, Mariners, and Angels, because I want to see Shohei and Mike Trout in postseason baseball.
Yeah, they need to be there.
And that
baseball needs them to be there.
I was going to say that would be very good for baseball as well.
Yeah. Now, realistically, if they're playing as the wild card 3 spot, they'd be taking on whoever the 2 seed is. Is that correct? Through the first round?
Yeah, because the first number
gets
1 gets a bye. Yeah.
So it'd probably be, last year was the Astros. I would not be surprised if the Astros are number 1 again, if I'm being honest.
So it could be the Yankees or the Jays.
It could be the Yankees, maybe.
Or the Blue Jays.
Maybe Blue Jays.
Depending on who.
Yeah, higher seeds.
Yeah.
Or higher, more wins. Whatever. You know what I mean. Let's look at the National League, though. So I'm seeing Braves, Mets, Phillies, Dodgers, some sort of an array of that.
Yeah.
I'll throw Padres in there. The only reason is just the CBS writers all had the Padres as winning the division or winning the conference anyways. Or, So what would you go with there, though? Because yours was Dodgers from the West.
Yeah. So I'm swapping the Dodger ones really with the Padre ones with the Dodger ones. I would put San Diego as probably a wild card number 1.
Yeah, I would too.
If the Dodgers win the division,
they're definitely 1-2. It's one of them is division winner, one of them is top of the wild card.
Yeah,
that's how I see it.
I don't see the Dodgers I don't see them as a wild card 3.
Me neither. That seems so low.
Boy, a lot of them have Phillies as the number 2 wild card. Yeah, I'll tell you, the National League is there's just so many good teams.
I will say this. There's 6 teams that will make it, right? I think that the National League has every shot of it being Cardinals from the Central, and they're the only ones. Dodgers, Padres. And then the rest of the 3 are from the East.
Mets, Phillies,
Braves.
And Braves.
Now, that sounds very familiar. It's because it's the same teams that were in the playoffs last year.
I don't
see there's much change.
I don't either.
Because I'm trying to think of any other team that sneaks their way into that scenario. And I'm like, unless the Brewers or the Cubs come out of nowhere. But but they'd be taking a wild card spot. I don't think they'll take it from the Cardinals. The Cardinals are still going to win the division. They would just have to take a wild card spot, and I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, I don't see the Diamondbacks or the Giants or the Rockies making any sort of noise in the West. Like you said, I think if anything changes, it would be the National League Central. Maybe the Brewers. Matt Snyder had the Brewers winning that division. Maybe that happens.
Yeah.
But
maybe.
I don't see really any differences and then in the East, you've got the Mets, Braves, and Phillies. Those are the three best teams. I don't see the Marlins or the Nationals making any changes in that.
Yeah. Now, all of these guys have different takes on who the champion is going to be. And we got to get to this real fast. Who do you think the champion's going to be?
Boy, a lot of Padres.
2 seconds.
I'm going Yankees, Dodgers. Yankees win it.
All right. Okay, well, we got to go. We'll see ya.